You know that feeling? You have this brilliant, world-changing idea in the shower, but by the time you've had your coffee, it's just gone. We all have these huge plans, these incredible thoughts. So what's the secret to actually harmonizing those thoughts with our actions? How do we make them real? And it's a super frustrating question, right? We have the vision, we feel the passion, but somehow that bridge from our idea to a real-world achievement just seems to crumble. And we're left feeling stuck, just wondering why our biggest ambitions so often end up as, well, just thoughts. You know, in South Asian folklore, there's a character who is the perfect example of this problem, Sheik Chili. He's the ultimate daydreamer, always building these amazing castles in the air, but never, ever laying a single brick in the real world. He's the poster child for brilliant but useless ideas, and in this explainer, we're going to learn exactly how to avoid becoming him. All right, so here's our game plan. We're going to start by really understanding this daydreamer trap and the mismatch that keeps our thoughts from becoming reality. Then we'll pivot to the good stuff, the solution. We'll talk about how to choose the right ideas, how to cultivate a truly powerful imagination, and then, finally, how to build that bridge from thought into real, concrete action. Okay, so let's dive right in with that core problem, that shake chili trap. What does it really mean to have a mind that's just buzzing with ideas, but a life that's kind of empty of results? And this idea, wow, it's brutally honest, isn't it? It doesn't matter how amazing or world-changing your ideas are, if they just stay stuck in your head without any action, they're basically worthless. That web of inactive thoughts, it doesn't build you a better life. It just builds you a cage. But why do our thoughts get stuck like that? What's causing this huge disconnect between our brilliant ideas and the world out there? Well, the answer really boils down to one crucial concept: a mismatch. Okay, think of it like this. It's like trying to run a brand new piece of software on an ancient operating system. It's just not going to work. We so often grab onto ideas that sound amazing. Maybe we saw someone else get successful with them, but they fundamentally clash with who we are. And that just creates this constant, exhausting friction inside us that drains all our energy and makes any kind of progress feel impossible. And this mismatch, it really shows up in two big ways. First, you've got internal conflict. So let's say you're a quiet, analytical person. The idea of becoming a super high-energy, rally-leading public speaker, well, it's going to be a constant battle against your own nature. And second, there's external conflict. You might have a brilliant idea for a startup, but it requires you to quit your job. If you've got a family to support and a mortgage to pay, that idea is literally at war with your current reality. So, if the problem is picking the wrong ideas, how do we start picking the right ones? Well, it turns out you need a filter, a system for finding the ideas that are actually built for you and built for success. And the key is this wonderfully simple but really powerful filtering process. First, just gather up all the ideas that genuinely excite you. Then you gotta be honest and compare them against who you really are, your personality, your skills, your life situation. Find the one that just feels right, the one with the strongest harmony. And this next part, this is so important. You have to deliberately discard all the rest, because focus, that's where the power is. And here's how you know you've found it. The right idea doesn't feel like a struggle. It feels natural. It's an idea that your mind just instinctively knows how to play with and develop and grow. When you land on it, it's not a blank page. It's like new branches and possibilities just start sprouting all on their own. And that's the sign that you've planted the right seed in the right soil. Which, brings us to this really beautiful way of thinking about this whole thing, treating your mind and your imagination like a garden. This concept is so crucial because it flips the script, right? We aren't just passive observers of our thoughts. No, we are gardeners. It's our job to actively cultivate our mental landscape, to get in there and pull out the weeds of impractical fantasy, and to water and fertilize the seeds of those viable, powerful ideas. So, what are these weeds we're talking about? Well, they're the daydreams that completely ignore what you're actually good at. They're the fantasies that pretend your real-world responsibilities just don't exist. They are those ideas that would have been perfect for you 10 years ago, or maybe 10 years from now, but they just clash with your life today. Basically, any form of wishful thinking that has zero practical path forward, you gotta pull it out. And think about it, this isn't just some abstract concept. Look at history. A faint idea in Rousseau's mind blossoms into democracy. A simple thought about a falling apple reveals the laws of gravity to Newton.
These weren't just idle daydreams, no way. They were powerful seeds of imagination, planted in just the right minds and cultivated into realities that literally changed the world. So, we have the right seed and it's planted in the right soil. Now comes the final and honestly the most important step of all, building that bridge from our inner garden out into the real world. This is it. This is the single most important takeaway from all of this. All the thinking, all the filtering, all the cultivating, it's for nothing without this bridge. Action is the physical process of actually carrying those seeds from your inner garden out into the world and planting them. Without action, even the most perfect idea just stays a prisoner in your mind. So ultimately, the goal here isn't just to have a wild, untamed imagination. The goal is to develop a creative imagination. And that's a disciplined, powerful force. It's the ability to come up with ideas that are not only exciting, but are also grounded. They're in harmony with who you are, what you can do, and the resources you actually have. It's imagination that's primed and ready for action. So, as we wrap this up, I want you to really think of your mind as that garden. Every single day, you're making choices. You're watering some thoughts, and you're letting others wither away. The entire landscape of your future is being planted right now inside your head. So the question is, are you going to be a passive daydreamer, or are you going to be a skilled gardener? What are you choosing to plant today?